Yeah, me and Sparky were kind of just talking a little bit like about like how me and you always have back and forths and like how we talk, and if it's me or if like what the issue is. And like he sort of made me realize all all of our issues we've ever had, we always end it on like a agree to disagree type beat. We go our separate ways and that sort of energy, and doesn't feel like we've ever resolved anything.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, like whenever we argue, it's like we always bring up like old stuff, and nothing's ever settled, so it's going into conversations in a already bad note. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah, in a sense, but you always want examples, and that's why like old shit is always brought up, no?
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
what Sparky recommended, and I think could be good for both of us, as long as you're willing to do it, is
Mm-hmm.
me and you completely fresh slate. We forget any conversation, argument we've ever had, and we try and when it, if there anything ever comes up, we take it as that there and then.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, I think it would help like having a fresh slate, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've been telling the boys that I'm proud of the way you've been presenting yourself recently,
Yeah,
and
I'm trying. I'm
and
trying.
a lot of the other boys have been coming to me and being like, "Yeah, Matt's actually growing up, this, that," and like in the grand scheme of things, they see you growing up, and they see that they don't need to treat you a certain way,
Yeah,
because they see you actually growing up and like making a change,
because me being completely honest, I do feel like I do get treated differently, but that to some sort of degree has been self-inflicted to you guys react to how how I am. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to change that, and I feel like a fresh start from the two of us. If we ever have an issue, we talk about that issue, and only that issue would be a good start for the both of us,
Yeah, no, 1000%. That's the thing, is it shouldn't be dwelling over the past shit. That's why even like when Sparky brought up that conversation about, oh well, in the past we did this, I'm like, okay, but in the present we're gonna be doing this, 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 this. So there's no point in dwelling in the past, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to get it to the point where we can have a conversation, because like I was speaking to Sparky, and I am realizing like it sometimes does feel like I can't speak to you, but it shouldn't be like
Hmm.
that, and that is probably majority my fault.
Yeah, and it's something we work on together, like communication is key. And
Yeah.
communication will, you know, like you said you don't like being treated this way. Like, and that's something it's about respect. If I respect you enough, I will listen to what you're telling me right now. If I have no respect for you, I will sit here and pretend that I'm listening, and I'll be like, yeah, Matt, this, and then 2 days later be like, yeah, Matt, you're this. So like, I have enough respect for you to actually listen to what you're saying, and go from there, because we're communicating,
Yeah. I want
Yeah,
to see
and
if I can
if
just
we both.
get it to the point where I'm not pushed into the same group as where Dean was pushed to. You never listen, because I try and listen. I
Yeah,
feel like I just
and
don't deal with things in the best way all the time.
yeah, and in the grand scheme of things, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I noticed a lot of influence from Dean too, where like you would even say catchphrases he would say, or this or that, or when Dean would say something, you'd start following suit, So it did seem like you were going that way. I don't know if it was or not, but that's how it came across to me.
I think Dean always took the interesting approach on life and not always the smart approach.
Hmm. And
And
that's the thing, is sometimes taking the interesting approach is good, but when you take the interesting approach, you gotta also be respectful to the family, and understand that, as Dean would always say, there's levels to this shit. And I'm not saying I don't want us to take the interesting approach to stuff, as long as we're respectful within our own circle.
yeah,
And that's like we for a while there has been a respect issue, and like where like certain people only respect certain people and this and that, and that's something I want to change, and like everyone has the same amount of base respect for each other, you know?
Yeah. Like, it is bad and I need to work on it. I genuinely feel like Sparky's the only person who gets through to me.
Yeah, that's how it has been from day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing, as long as you're making an effort and you communicate that, and we communicate with each other, and like actually have conversations, I feel like we can go a long way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And no, it's really big of you to come and have this chat, you know?
But yeah, no, I thought it should be done when, because normally our conversations are, I'm always on the back foot trying to defend myself, and
Mm.
it feels like when I'm defending myself, I'm coming at you, and it just starts the conversations with who's right, who's wrong, when this
Yeah.
conversation should be a very neutral thing, you know?
Yeah. And I think one thing that would help in conversations is just listening each other, listening to each other and being like, "Oh, okay. Like this is why you felt that way, but this is why it's also wrong doing it from this way." And then we actually get somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I appreciate you, having this chat, cuz it shows a lot, and it shows, and this is one sign of respect, Matt. Like you were saying, I don't really know what respect is, this and that. This is a major sign of respect,
Yeah, like
is
when I say this,
communicating.
I
Yeah.
generally don't think I know what respect is, and like when we go in like the circles of like when we get, do you know, when we have our conversations, we get past the initial problem and then we go into old things, and it's like
Hmm.
you have a respect issue, you don't listen, like
Yeah.
like I'm not saying this in a I intentionally don't listen, but that goes in
Yeah.
one ear and comes out the other. It's like like I don't know like how to improve off that, you know?
This is one major way of improving on it, is literally what you're doing right now,
Yeah.
you're being respectful, you're having a conversation, you're not acting like, oh well, it makes me look like a pussy or this or that. It's no, let's actually work on our problems, and we'll have a conversation without having to shit on each other,
This being said, I'm leaving. I got my Hydra
like even
Hydra
today
mask
with
waiting.
with that Solomon shit. um the conversation wasn't, hey, shit on Matt. It's like, hey, okay, we did this, I understand this, but let's make sure we're on the same page,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, no, if you ever
I
if you
think
ever want to chit
sometimes
chat about.
yeah, it is
Yeah,
it's just
sorry.
very easy to like the reason I get so defensive in them sort of situations is like
Mm.
it's very easy to call out the problem in that situation instead of helping fix it. And like
Yeah.
it's been an issue for a long time that whenever we're at war, all of a sudden we don't have enough man to go fight it.
Oh no, and that's why I've always kind of taken the passive approach, because I know how our wars go. It's people are there for the first day, second day, and then after that nobody's about.
It's
But
not even that.
bringing.
Like I feel like Jay's one of the people that pushes a harder side among them, but I genuinely don't remember last time I fought in a war with him. And I feel like it's very easy to call it out and be like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. But it's like, I'm between a rock and a hard place, bro. Like, I'm either getting shot at by a lot of people or unfortunately having someone involved that shouldn't be involved, you know?
Yeah. No, I get that, and then we're actually making a change. Like for example, either this weekend we're getting the high command sorted, or Monday we'll have it sorted minimum. And after that's done, Nunu and Steve are gonna get pulled into the gang. And if people come across the horizon and they actually suit the gang, we'll see it. But I also don't want to have like 50 new more members where like T wakes up and it's like a completely different gang.
Yeah,
Where
no, you don't want that. You don't want that.
yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to do the NBC effect on our own gang.
Yeah, you never want it to be the old mandem, the new mandem, because
Yeah.
it could have very much been like that in Roadman times when we all got brought in, but thank God it didn't, you know?
Yeah. What was that? What was the last war we? I think that's the thing is sometimes when it comes to war, I think people would rather just watch than actually participate.
Yeah. I don't have an issue with that, but I feel like calling out people doing on what people are doing in war when you're not participating is very like it's just a bit,
And
you know what I mean?
yeah, I get that. I get that. The only thing I was upset about is it felt like no one listened to me in that meeting. You know, that's the only thing that
Yeah.
actually upset me. Like at the end of the day, you did what you thought was right in the situation, but in the meeting it was like everyone was like, yeah, let's make sure we don't do that. And then it's like I hear this, you know,
Because like
which
that
isn't.
problem, for
Yeah.
example, was very much put on me, and it's like, why have you done that, Matt? But like,
Mm.
I wasn't the only one there to go, yeah, Solomon shouldn't be with us. Ved was there, James was there, Steve was there.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh no, 100%.
nobody thought, yeah, maybe Matt, you shouldn't do this. You know, like,
Yeah. No, that's the thing is that's what I told Jay. I'm like, why didn't any of the boys be like, Matt, this is what was said in the meeting, and this, and it was brought up that it was you, James, and Ved there, and Ved wasn't at the meeting, and someone deleted Saint's what's it called, note she made for the meeting, so it was more like, hey, this is
Awesome,
what happened.
Chris.
Let's make sure when we move on, we make sure that doesn't happen. But I do get it because half the time I do understand where you're coming from. It was like, you remember when we were wearing Hydra,
yeah,
when we were wearing the goons. Half the time it was me and James just pondering around, like trying to get sneaky hits, this and that. So
yeah,
I
it's
do,
frustrating, bro.
yeah, especially like
It's easy to complain from the sidelines, you know.
yeah, but that's the thing I want to do is I want to make sure we have a gang and we have this, especially if we want to be big men, you know.
Yeah.
In the grand, like I want to make sure we're not trying to achieve something we're not, especially at that moment, you know, like when we're going after like the big heads. I want to make sure we're capable of actually going for those big heads and not being like, because the thing is, we could go to war every day, or we could beef people every day, but being the bluntest, we don't have the facilities for that, you know.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're working on in a gang, and hopefully it'll improve, but it's something we need to actually like properly work on, you know. And the thing is, like, we function really well, and this gang used to only be like a 2-3 man gang. Like there was only a couple people within the gang, and the family grew and it grew and it grew and it grew and it grew without having that proper structure. And that's what I'm trying to implement now, where that structure is there, where there's less weight on my, because you know what the first hour of my day was today. Oh, Patar, can I talk to you? Oh, Patar, and this is nothing about like against you, man. So don't take it, oh, like, oh, I'm one of the people that called Patar to the side to have a meeting with him. It was, oh, can I talk to you, Patar? 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 It was, can I talk to you? It was Winston, it was this, it was Moses, it was Ved, it was Sparky, it was this, it was that, it was this. Everyone was pulling me to a side, and it's like, oh, Patar, can I talk to you about this? And there's nothing wrong with that. I like it when people talk to me, but I can only do so much as one person, you know?
Yeah.
And that's one thing I realized, and that's why like the high command shit is happening. That's why like
I'm
Eli's
glad to, I really like
you know?
Eli as starting command. I think he's a good fit.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's not someone that will try and go
I feel
over
like
the
he'll be
top to
neutral.
fill a role. Yeah, he's neutral. But I feel
Yeah.
like certain people would very much be as vocal as they can be to look like they're doing a lot, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing is like at the end of the day, as long as we communicate, we chit chat with each other, we learn from, you know, what we could have done better, we go from there, you know? Like even
Yeah.
for me, for example, instead of ending this shit, we probably should have went for more. We probably should have, you know? But that's something I learned from, and then we go from there, and then we're Gucci, you know?
Listen, we got a meth lab. Not a meth lab, a
Meth
meth
table?
table. So
Yeah.
in my books, bro, a meth table and the money back
Yeah.
is, you know what I mean? We made 150K. We would only ask for 100, so.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
It's not something we don't need, so.
No, and we need that, and Eli's gonna be cooking on it, so it's perfect. And we go from there, and yeah. And if we ever have like family troubles, we'll just get together, we'll go smoke a gang, and we'll take our frustration out on them, you know? Like, that's one thing I want to see less of, is us fighting with each other and being more united, you know? Like, remember when me and you wiped PD?
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't, oh, well, it's my call, Matt, you're wrong. It was, nah, I made a call, you made a call. I made a call, you made a call. I made a call, you made a call.
And
I
bro,
made a call, you made a
we
call.
pretty much did that on like majority that was me and you.
Yeah, majority, like I would say 90% of that was me and you, and then Sparky came and helped us to finish it off, you know?
Like there was
He
never
put
more
he
than
put the
4 of
cream on
us
the
at
top.
once.
No. And everyone else, like, they went down way too quick, you know?
Yeah, I did feel bad for T. Me and T got rushed.
Yeah.
3 of them came for me and 3 of them went for T. I got
Yeah.
lucky I survived that.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing is, and I want it to be to a point where we can check up, like check each other on shit. And realistically, the high command is also gonna be something that will even check me, you know? Like if I'm like, maybe this, I'll go chit chat with the high commander. They can come and, you know, talk to me. Or even if like you pull me aside on a one-on-one or this or that, you know, communication is what will help the gang the most, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, anything you need, Matt, feel free to always chit chat with me. And if we can have conversations like this where it's just cordial, we're just listening to each other, we're being respectful towards each other, you know, it would be greatly appreciated, and always keep it in mind. And it does show that you're trying and you're learning, you know?
Yeah,
And
I
that's
felt
what
like
matters at the end of
Sparky
the
was
day.
right. All of our issues we've ever had never really got put behind us. We just agreed to disagree and moved on. And like whenever we'd argue, stuff from the past would get brought up, and it becomes an unconstructive conversation at that point because
Yeah.
we've already agreed to disagree, you know.
Yeah, no, 1000%. And you know, this shows a lot, and I am proud of you, you know, because it takes a lot to actually say something and actually do something, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do appreciate it, man. Is there anything else you want to chat about?
Yeah, good. I'm all good.